Okay, everyone, we are going to tackle this hot topic of women and weight loss, um, which is pretty big issue, but it's pretty, all encompassing. So we want to make sure that we're kind of diving in and dialing into, why is this happening? What are some natural things that we can do? My name's Kara Kading. I've been an essential oil educator or just health and wellness overall educator for the past 10 years, really focusing on just helping people to feel their absolute best and being able to do that naturally. With me tonight, I have an awesome member from my team. I've got Pat Moulter, and Pat, do you want to just kind of introduce yourself a little bit and tell them who you are?
Hi. Well, I have been doing essential oils for a million years because I had so many allergy, had to learn to make my own products. So I'm excited to be on the call with Kara and share what I've learned along the way with you.
All right, sounds great. So, we will dive right in. We're going to talk about simple wellness habits that support your metabolism, energy, sleep, hormones, cravings, and being able to do all of that naturally, I think is really important. So, let me close this up so that I can see this. Close that up. Okay. Have you ever said this, or like, have you been, maybe this has been running through your mind lately, where you're saying, you know what, I'm doing everything that I've always done before, and it's not working anymore, right? You feel like I'm eating what I think I'm supposed to be eating. I'm trying to do all the things. I'm working out all the time. I feel like I'm working out more than ever. I'm almost running myself ragged. It's not working for me. The weight just keeps creeping up, or I feel completely burned out and exhausted. Your cravings are worse. Your sleep might be terrible. Maybe you get out of the shower and you're like, I don't even reckon. Maybe when this has happened to me, where I'm like, I'm in the shower and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this my body? Like, you just don't recognize things. Things seem to have maybe shifted. They don't seem like they're in where they used to be, right? And there's a few things. Obviously, I mean, we are aging. And I think that that is something to embrace. But there are a lot of other things going on too. So our hormones are shifting. Muscle mass is naturally declining. Blood sugar, we've got swings with our blood sugar. We'll talk about all these things tonight. Poor sleep can affect your metabolism. We have issues like stress and cortisol. Those two go hand in hand. Inflammation in the body. This has a big impact on your weight loss and how much, if it's easy to lose or if it's being stubborn and you feel like you're just stuck and you can't lose it. Okay. And I will say that like all the things that we talk about tonight, I do feel like it's really important to kind of be like ready or like be in the correct mental state of saying like, okay, I'm ready to take these and start to incorporate this into my daily routine because there is really no easy button. Okay. These are actual lifestyle changes. So you have to be kind of ready and willing to like really focus in on these things and be conscious of them throughout the day because there are some things probably that we're going to talk to you about tonight that maybe you just didn't even realize that you were doing or weren't doing. But being ready to be able to actually make the changes and focus on it and dedicate time to it is really important. I always recommend journaling because, like I said, sometimes you just might not even be aware what's going on. But if we slow down and start documenting and writing some things, then I'll give you some kind of, as we go through here, some cues of like what things you should be writing down and what you should be journaling will be really helpful in this whole experience and journey. Okay. So let me see. It is, I wish I could make someone a co-host so that I guess I can do it here. Okay. All right. So let's talk about blood sugar balance. So this is an issue that I think, and I also want to preface this that like, I feel like everybody is different. We all have different chemistry. We all have different things that work for us, but this is kind of like in general. Okay. Women do tend to skip breakfast, I think. And a lot of times we're flying out the door, we're doing a million different things, or maybe you just don't think like you feel hungry, or you're thinking maybe you're trying to save calories and you're going to be, eating a lunch and a dinner later, so you don't want to eat a breakfast. But this has a huge impact on your blood sugar. Coffee and carbs usually tend to be the first thing in the morning, and this immediately we're starting off on that blood sugar roller coaster, which causes those afternoon crashes. Does anyone ever feel like they want to take a nap in the middle of the afternoon? They don't think they're going to make it through the end of the day. A lot of that has to do with what we're doing in the morning. And then that cues those nighttime sugar cravings because our body is looking for that fast fuel. So we'll talk about that and things that we can do to combat that. A great solution is eating protein within an hour of waking. Don't drink coffee on an empty stomach. So this is something that again, it's something that we all need to work on. Like my husband likes to just bring me coffee first thing in the morning and put that on my nightstand. So I'm trying to be really conscious of waking up a little bit earlier, making sure that I'm hydrating first and drinking. I'll put like a drop of lemon in my water and make sure that I'm drinking at least some water. And it's really funny, actually, at this point, I feel like I'm not even craving the coffee that I used to. I used to have to, I thought I absolutely had to have coffee to be able to even open up my eyes in the morning. Now it's something I don't even think about. It's so crazy. Pairing your carbs with protein. Okay. So if we are eating carbs, like let's say you like to have toast, you like to have a slice of sourdough, in the morning, let's put some peanut butter on that. Okay. Helping to get that protein and carbs together, I think is really important. And then focusing on consistency. Again, remember that this is something where you got to be ready for this. Okay. We're going to be making some lifestyle changes, and how can we implement that? It's going to take a little while for these habits to stick. So I am pretty excited, and I wanted to have Pat on because she has developed this awesome protein blend. So a lot of us with doTERRA not offering protein anymore are looking for a good quality protein. So this is one. Well, Pat, I'll let you talk about it.
Okay, well, I created a company as a result of having a journey with colon cancer. So my cancer had spread to my lymph nodes by the time they found it, and I had surgery. I had 5 months of hell, literally. With chemo, I should have been finished in 6 months. I wasn't even halfway through, and so I had a lot of people praying for me. I believe in the power of prayer, and my husband and I prayed extensively and felt a peace about quitting. So I'm really fortunate. One of my closest friends' husband did a lot with natural healing in California. And Patrick introduced me to a raw foods lifestyle, which I realize isn't for everybody, but his thought process and research bears it out is that if my body could focus on healing instead of trying to process heavy meat and other things that I had been eating regularly before my colon cancer, that I had a better chance of trying to beat it. Because I am a published certified aromatherapist, I custom blend for people. I wanted to know where my ingredients were coming from because he had me using somebody else's green powder. I didn't intend to start a company, but it evolved. So my three products are all vegan. They're certified organic and they're just food. And Karen and I had an interesting conversation about the spirulina in my protein powder. That is a blue-green algae. It's amazing. Research shows that it helps us with heart health, blood pressure, immune system, anti-inflammatory, all the things that I was worried about because the chemo had naturally depleted my immune system. It's high in vitamin E and magnesium, iron, and copper. It helps with muscle strength. And so I use it every day with my berry powder. And you can make smoothies up ahead of time. You can put them in glass jars in your freezer for 2 weeks. You can add it to applesauce. You can add it to cottage cheese. You can add it to yogurt. It's super light. For some of us that have dairy problems, it won't cause the bloating and gassiness that whey tends to do for a number of us. So I realize it's not for everybody, but for those of us that don't consume dairy or even other people that like to try it, it's a great alternative. It's really light. And for any of my products, I'm happy to offer 10% discount to doTERRA friends. And so I'll put my phone number in the chat and then you can text me and I'll get back with you. You can tell me what you want. And you can either order it online and I'll rebate the 10%, or you can Venmo me or PayPal. But I'd love to have you try it. I think you'll enjoy it. And I have a million cajillion recipes because I love to teach classes. that I'm happy to share with you if you're stuck on something to come up with.
Well, I think that's really great because I love to make a smoothie every morning, but I mean, I don't like to eat the same thing every single day. Like that it's not fun, right? I feel like
Oh,
food should be enjoyable. And so, Pat, I definitely recommend, reaching out to her because she has so many amazing smoothie recipes and great ways that you can incorporate like the nutrients that you need, the protein that you need. I always do a scoopful of cottage cheese in my smoothie, which is so amazing. It's a great way to get some protein and you don't even taste it. It's so crazy. So there's great ways to sneak in that protein throughout the day that will really help you feel fuller longer. And it's just amazing what a difference that makes. So again, focusing on that protein first thing in the morning. This is a great one. You can, if you want it to be flavored, you can. But if you're, like I said, check out some of her recipes because they're really, really good. But I love how clean this protein is. There's a lot of junk on the market. So I feel like this makes a big difference. So I've really been focusing on protein first thing in the morning. Like I said, I feel like that makes a huge difference in just helping with my cravings. If I leave the house and I don't have anything with me, as far as like a good breakfast, all of a sudden 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning, I'm craving something. And I don't want to reach for like my mom. I'm working on my mom. Okay. She's someone that she just loves to have graham crackers for breakfast. And so those are always sitting out in we share an office together and those are always sitting out on the counter. And I'm like, oh gosh, I can't believe, I usually have like hard boiled eggs or something like that with me. I was like, I can't believe I forgot those. And then she'll say, oh, yeah, just have some of my graham crackers. I'm like, that would be the worst thing for me. Because again, we're going to be on that. There's no nutrients in there at all, no value. And then we're going to throw our body into that whole sugar spike and be crashing later. It's just something I need to avoid. So starting off with this makes a huge difference. The other thing that I just never leave home without, like I start this off pretty much every morning. If I'm having a really long day, sometimes I'll do this maybe at lunchtime, but I feel like I'm so much better and so much more successful throughout the day if I have this first thing in the morning. So I know that there's some people that are on here who is like, I have no idea what that is. I have never seen that before. Or maybe this is something that you have been taking, and I feel like this is a really good refresher for you. Okay. So this is our foundational wellness. If you follow me on social media at all, if you look at my stories, like I'm pretty much showing you how quick and easy this is to be able to incorporate into your daily routine because it literally, we call it a 2-minute morning routine, but I'm pretty sure it takes less than a minute. Okay. So this is the VMG. It's all your vitamins, minerals, and greens. And so we just mix this with cold water and drink it down. It tastes delicious. Okay. It's a pineapple mango flavor. It's super easy. Pat just puts it in her smoothie in the morning. Okay. That's like an awesome way to habit stack instead of having to do a million things separately. Just do them all together. Just throw everything all in there together and drink it down. It's super easy to be able to do that. And again, there's no objectionable taste. And again, this is something that's a supplement. So I do want to stress that when we talk about the importance of fueling our body with good food. If you're taking this and you're saying, oh, this has all my vitamins, minerals, and greens, I don't need to worry about what I'm eating throughout the day. I can just, go to Taco Bell or go through the drive-through at McDonald's because I have everything. No, that's not true. Okay. We still want to focus on fueling our body with good food. And I feel like, one thing, and maybe this isn't for you, I don't know, but for me, it has really changed in the past 2 months. I have set with the mindset of I want to live to be 100. Okay. I want to be healthy. I want to be well. I want to be moving my body. My kids are in their like early 20s, late teens. And, we're moving on to kind of like this next step in our lives. And we're thinking about like, okay, what are we going to be doing as the kids get older? And Philip and I want to be able to travel and be able to do things. And I want to go hiking and I want to go biking and I want to be able to, again, move my body or keep up with my grandkids. How am I going to be able to do that? How am I going to be able to live to be 100? And it's not going to be with the graham crackers. Okay. That's not going to cut it for me. It's got to be with nutrition. And I talk about this all the time, this trio, because when we focus on this foundation and we fuel the body with exactly what it needs, it's amazing how this can resolve probably 80 to 85% of the health concerns that people connect with me for, the struggles that they have, if we just hone in on this and give me 90 days to see how this works for you, you'll find that you're sleeping better. You have more energy throughout the day. You don't have the sugar cravings that you used to. You're in an overall just kind of better mood. It's amazing how it works with your body. So that's the VMG, the E omegas. This is really important. These are your omega 3s. Studies show that 90% of Americans are deficient in omega 3s. And omega 3s are so important for your brain, for your heart health, but also it's also really important for inflammation. Okay. Omega 3s are anti inflammatory. In our American diet, I think the ratio is now 20-1 of your omega 6s to omega 3s. Omega 6s are very inflammatory for the body, which is why we complain about our aches and our pains and our stiffness. Okay. The omega 3s, this is going to make your cells less crunchy, is the best way to remember this. Okay. So that you can move. It's a fluid movement. It's helping with cognitive function, which I think is really important as we get older, right? And then the PB Restore. So PB Restore, if you think about it as people talk about, oh, this is our probiotic, but it is so much more than that. Okay. It is like a probiotic times 10. So we're talking about a probiotic and a prebiotic, or prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic. There's also phages in here. So this helps to break down any bad bacteria that's in the body. It's balancing all the microbiomes in your body. So it's not just for gut health, but it's balancing your mouth, your skin, your digestion, your immune system, okay, all of those things. And so this is a really simple routine that's going to pack a big punch. I would not want to miss a day. And the VMG is so important because it's different than any other. I know there's a lot of other kind of like your greens that you're supposed to drink. There's one at Costco. I think it's like the AG ones, which is kind of what this is showing, how that's different than the VMG. We have so much more to offer with the whole food vitamins and minerals, the greens. We have essential oils. And you're like, well, why are essential oils in there? We found that when we incorporate essential oils into the VMG, your body actually, the oils actually help your body to absorb those nutrients even better. Okay. It's amazing how that works. It's stimulant free, it's vegan, non-GMO, it's gluten free. We've got 4 probiotic strains, and we're focusing on that gut health. The liposomal technology is key. So if you don't know what liposomal technology is, what makes that unique is that your body can absorb the nutrients readily. So instead of taking like a 1-a-day capsule that your body has to go through the whole entire digestive process to be able to break down, and then you only end up absorbing about 15 to 20% of that vitamin, we're getting the liposomal delivery, the direct delivery right into the cells. So you're getting all of those nutrients. And what ends up happening is those key things like your vitamin C, vitamin E, iron, calcium, potassium. Look at the absorption rate when we're taking this and consuming it as a liposomal technology. 4 times the amount with vitamin C, 5 times the amount with vitamin E, 6 times the amount with iron and calcium. And then we have bioretention. So that means that this has a lasting effect. So it's going to stay with you for over 8 hours. Okay. So you're going to feel fueled and have that energy throughout the entire day. So that's why I like to take it first thing in the morning. But like whenever we ask any of the doctors at doTERRA, like, hey, when should we be taking this? They're like, you take it when you take it. Okay. What works for you is going to have a big impact. So this is just some of the comments. Like whenever someone like reaches out to me, I, love to take a screenshot. It makes me so happy because it's working. And so, someone said they don't usually do like green drinks, the vitamins, but I sent her a sample and she's like, it's delicious. I absolutely love it. It was on her order. And then one of my friends, she's like, I don't even need coffee anymore, right? She's not even craving coffee because her body is being fueled, and it makes me so happy because it's happening naturally. Then we had someone who went on vacation and they forgot their VMG. And she's like, her body, she could notice a huge difference, of how different she felt being with it and being without it. Okay. Someone said, I just want to let you know, I've been drinking the VMG. I've been taking the probiotics or the PB Restore and the E omegas, and it's helped her digestive system so much. And she's so happy that she tried it. So it's something, like I said, these are actual people And like I said, if you watch my story, you'll probably see me doing this all the time. I'm always drinking it. I'm always talking about it, always highlighting because it has changed so many lives. Okay, so let's dive into those sugar cravings. Do you feel like you guys can throw it in the chat? Like, is this one area like where you feel like you really struggle? You're like, gosh, I feel like I'm doing so great. I'm, doing pretty well throughout the day. And then all of a sudden in the evening is when I'm just craving sugar like crazy. Or all of a sudden I think I made it and then I have to have a big bowl of ice cream at night, something like that. And you just don't feel like you have the willpower in the evening. And a lot of this goes back to, are we skipping breakfast? Are we only drinking coffee in the morning? Are we eating mostly carbs without protein? You guys, I love carbs, okay? Like noodles are my total love language, okay? But when we balance them, so when you have a plate of food and you've got your carbs and you've got your protein, you've got some vegetables on there, focus on eating your proteins and your vegetables first and eating those carbs later or at the end of the meal, because that will really help with preventing that big glucose spike that just makes us crash. It just throws our body totally out of whack. Or if we go too long without eating, okay? So sometimes that happens, and then we turn into like Cookie Monster, right? And all of a sudden we're eating everything in sight. That's not good either. So when we're eating, those sugary things, that's causing that blood sugar to rise quickly. And then our body releases insulin to like bring it back down to kind of temper that. Okay. But then all of a sudden with that insulin release, sometimes that blood sugar can drop too low. And that's when we start to feel tired. We feel shaky, irritable, anxious, foggy, or intensely hungry, right? Things just tend to get out of whack. So then by the time nighttime comes, it's not that we're lacking discipline. It's that our body's trying to get that quick energy, that fast fuel. So things like sugar, any like cookies, ice cream, chocolate, right? Or sometimes like for me, I would like think, okay, you did such a great job today. I'm going to reward you with a Reese's peanut butter cup. It's just one, right? But if you're having just one Reese's peanut butter cup every single night, like that is going to catch up with you. Okay. It's not the best way to fuel yourself or to reward yourself in the evening. There's a lot other better ways to reward yourself than with chocolate. Okay. I know it's hard, but it's not, I mean, obviously I still have chocolate, but like, don't do it every single night. So your brain's looking for that fast fuel because your body has been on that roller coaster all day long. So this is why starting the day, again, going right back to that protein in the morning, that's going to help with those cravings. It's going to help with your energy, your mood, and your metabolism. All right, one thing that has helped me a lot with sugar cravings is I'm going to just dabble in a little bit about like our entire MetaPower system, because it is designed to help with your metabolism, okay? So the MetaPower Advantage is something that I just mix in with, I wish I had a picture of it, I should have put a picture in it, but it's the same exact identical sachet as the VMG. And so this is something that you can just mix the two in together. There's two different flavors. I personally love the pomegranate cherry. I think it tastes really good, but it has 9 different types of collagen. It has hyaluronic acid. It has NADH. It has NMN, which is a really important energy molecule. We've got a red orange fruit extract, the marine collagen, again, 9 different types. So we're not just focusing on your like hair and skin, but we're actually focusing on things like your digestion, your immune system. We've got the MetaPower Metabolic Blend in there. And again, if you're brand new and you're like, I don't know what the MetaPower Metabolic Blend is, we're going to talk about that, okay? Resveratrol is in there. Sea buckthorn fruit extract, rose apple fruit extract. I don't even know what that word is. Phytoceramides, liposomal vitamin C, and biotin, okay? So all of these are meant to support and fuel your body. There's no soy, no nuts, no shellfish, pesticides, gluten, sugar, dairy, preservatives, artificial sweeteners, artificial flavors, GMOs, or the glyphosate. Okay, so it's really important. Again, when we're trying to do the right things, just be really conscious. Look at the labels of the things that you think like the protein powder. Okay, take a look at what's on the market and what those ingredients are, and be really conscious of what you're putting in your body. So this has helped because, again, doTERRA really focuses on that bioavailability. So, Vital Proteins was what I took before. You don't know what you don't know kind of thing, right? So before we even came out with a collagen, Like who doesn't want to be like Jennifer Aniston, right? So Jennifer Aniston was promoting Vital Proteins forever and ever. And so I was like, oh, she looks amazing. And so I'm going to take this. I'm going to stir this up in my coffee. I never really noticed or felt anything. I just felt maybe a little bit closer to Jennifer Aniston because I thought we were doing the same, collagen, but whatever. And so that, people say, well, what that has 20 grams and this only has 3 grams. But the reason why that's different is because we have broken it down into a much more absorbable form. Okay. So it's in what's called a tripeptide form. Again, think about it as like that liposomal delivery, and it's getting absorbed directly into the system. So your body is in tax, your digestive system is in tax, trying to go through the digestive process of trying to break everything down and then be able to absorb it. You're absorbing it right away. Okay. So it's very efficient and it's very effective. The metabolic blend, our MetaPower, is like gold. Okay, so you can take it as a soft gels, you can take it as the oil. I have a drop in my water right now. The oil is awesome. It has 5 different oils in it that work together synergistically. And these used to be, if you guys are familiar with doTERRA, it used to be called Slim and Sassy. We've reformulated it and kind of changed the percentages. It's the same oils, but the percentages in here have changed, okay? And they found that this was much more effective in helping to curb the sugar cravings. So this will help not only curb your sugar cravings, it helps to regulate your metabolism, and it inhibits fat cell maturation. So it's protecting your fat cells from getting bigger, okay? Woohoo! I'm so excited about that. So we've got grapefruit in here. This is in order like of the percentage that's in there. Okay, so the majority of it, we got a lot of grapefruit in here. This is helping to curb your appetite, not in a negative way, in a positive way. Sugar cravings, helping to support that healthy metabolic response throughout the day. Lemon promotes the fat burning processes. It helps to gently cleanse and help to flush out toxins in the body. Peppermint, this is helping with healthy digestion and also senses creates a feeling of fullness. Cinnamon bark helps with the blood sugar regulation. And then ginger also helps with boosting your metabolism and that fat burning process. So soft gels are just quick and easy. Like sometimes after lunch, I'll take the soft gels just because it helps, again, really with those sugar cravings. So where I used to be just in the habit of like having lunch and then having maybe a cookie as a dessert, I don't know why, but that was just my habit, right? This way now I'll take this instead and I don't have those cravings anymore. It tastes very good. So again, a drop in your water, or I know like Pat likes to put a drop in her smoothies. That works really well too. But the other part of the MetaPower system is the assist. And I don't take this every single day, but I will take it when I know I'm having a high carbohydrate meal. So our kids are still at home. We still love and crave things like spaghetti, okay? And so when we're having spaghetti, I know, okay, all right, I'm going to take one of these assists before the meal. And what this does, it has all those same oils in it, but it also has mulberry leaf in it and berberine. So those 2 ingredients help to prevent that glucose spike. So have you guys ever had like a big bowl of pasta and then you just felt like you had to go take a nap on the couch? That's because of that high glucose spike. And so when we have that spike, that again is wreaking havoc on your metabolism, and it's releasing oxidative stress. It's actually aging you every time that we do that. So this kind of flattens that curve and smooths everything out so that we don't have that highs and lows and that kind of crash afterwards. Not that you should be eating this huge stack of pancakes. Please don't do that for breakfast, but it's just a good visual, okay? But like I said, it's not something I take every single day. I'm not eating as heavy on carbs as I used to. I'm really focusing and honing in on those proteins. And then we'll talk about some great lunch options also, but this is a great thing great tool to have on hand. And this is just me when I started the MetaPower system. Okay. So 7:30 in the morning, no makeup on. This is what I look like before MetaPower. This is 2 months later. I didn't even know that I looked like that. Like I said, I feel like I look like an angry man right there, but you can see the changes in just 2 months, just in the tone of my skin. It's much more supple. And I feel like even emotionally it changed me. You can see that I almost look a little bit more relaxed. I don't look so angry. I don't even know why, but like you can see the big changes, right? And then in my skin, like it's been a slow, gradual weight loss. I can tell you that, which is a really good thing. That means that it's going to be sustainable, okay? And it's something that I continue to work on. And I want it to be slow because if it's fast and too quick, it's going to be really hard to maintain. All right. But you can also see the smoothness in my skin. So, like, there isn't as much dimpling going on. That is from that MetaPower. All right, let's jump into lunch. Okay. So, this is another struggle that people have of talking about like grabbing foods because it's convenient, right? That's why they call it convenient foods or, drive-throughs, those kinds of things, because we're in a hurry, we're rushed, we're tired, we're busy. Sometimes we wait too long to eat. And then we're just like, oh my gosh, well, I don't have time to make food at home. I need to run and I just need to go pick it up. Like, who's going to pick up dinner tonight? Sometimes that happens with sports and that kind of thing. But then we get weird cravings. We tend to overeat. If we don't have those healthy options, that's when we tend to make these mistakes. So I always recommend when you go to the grocery store, try to stay in those outside aisles. I think that's really important because that's where all the real food is. Okay. I hang out a lot in the produce area. And then as soon as I get home, I will wash and cut all the fruit and vegetables. And so that way it's ready. You can open up the fridge. It's ready to go. I can grab stuff for work. The kids, I mean, it's amazing. I will buy like a thing of strawberries. If I just wash it and put that in the fridge, nobody touches them. But if I bring them home, wash them, and cut them up, like where you can just actually just bite them, they're gone within about 6 hours. So it's so important to have everything prepped and ready. For me, I always have things like in little containers ready to go, grab and go. That's my fast food, okay? Because it's already ready to go. I mean, doesn't this salad look amazing? I recommend throwing as many fun things in there as possible. Just keep it interesting, keep it different. Because if you make the same salad every single day, it's going to get really boring. You're not going to look forward to that. And Pat, I know you have a few things that you recommend throwing in your salad.
Well, I do. And a couple of other things too. If you'll make a big pot of quinoa when you're doing all your food prep for the week, it doesn't take any longer to fix a huge pot of quinoa than it does to make an individual portion. And then because it's just myself, I split it up into different freezer containers and I put some in the freezer. It's an awesome source of protein and fiber. And, fiber is such an important part into helping us with our journey to losing weight and staying healthy and feeling ever so much better. Quinoa, you can eat cold, you can eat hot. I had it tonight with organic tofu that I had sauteed, and I with steamed vegetables. And then I love spice, and there's an amazing vendor at Milliger's Farmers Market, Tommy Z's. I'm addicted to his mango pineapple jalapeno salsa. So I put a great big splop of that on top of it. But that's such an easy thing. You can throw it in with your veggies, take it cold for lunch, add it with your hummus or whatever else you want to do with it. And then everybody should have a salad every single day. It's a great source of fiber. There's a reason they give you a salad first when you're in a restaurant because it's filling. And that will help too with your cravings and your overeating. And it's so easy to make salads. Tonight I had a salad. Pick and Say it had beautiful grapefruit on sale, and I bought three of those. So I had a half a grapefruit on my crispy greens with a half an avocado and no dressing. I just took the grapefruit and squeezed the juice over top of the salad. And the difference in textures is amazing. You can also take mixed greens, throw them in a bowl with a half a ripe avocado, a Roma tomato, juice from a half a lemon, and then you get to just get rid of all your frustrations from the day because take your hands and just mash all of that together. And the combination of your lemon juice, your ripe avocado, and your Roma tomato with a little bit of sea salt makes an amazing dressing. And then you can add any of the other veggies that you want to it as well. So that's one of my favorite easy tips to do. And if you're looking for something sweet, make yourself some chia seed pudding. Again, you can split it up into different containers. You can add a little bit of maple syrup if you want. That's such an easy dessert to have. You could top it with some berries. Fresh fruits get a bad rap, but actually they will keep you level with your sugar and avoid spikes because it's natural. You're not getting anything artificial in there. And so to have a sliced apple with some hummus or peanut butter or cashew butter, almond butter is an amazing snack in the afternoon. The same, sometimes I will have just some organic applesauce for supper if I want something a little bit sweet. It's just apples and water, whether you've purchased it or you've made your own. It just satisfies. Maybe put a handful of raisins in there too. Yummy. So, anyway, hope those are some tips that you'll find helpful.
That's amazing, Pat. I think you have to we need to give you your own Wellness Wednesday with just helping us with food recipes because
I
she's
would love
full of
that.
them. Yeah, she's amazing. We'll work on that for sure. I love it.
Okay.
She keeps me in check. She's always checking on me to make sure that I'm eating the good stuff, and I love it. Takes good care of me. And then like movement, okay? So it's really important. A body in motion stays in motion. If you're not using it, you're going to lose it, okay?
Yeah.
So muscle naturally declines with age. Less muscle slows down your metabolism. We tend to gain more belly fat. Energy and strength start to decrease. And, I love to go for a walk every morning. I feel super healthy. It makes a big difference for me mentally. But just doing some simple strength training 2 to 3 times a week, resistance bands, light weights, yoga, Pilates, change it up, do something different. Again, don't get stuck in the same routine. We have so much freedom to be able to try different things. Don't get stuck in that rut because then you're not going to want to show up. You're not going to be able to want to do it. Is there anything else, Pat, that you love to do that's different than that's on here?
Well, I love Planet Fitness. For one reason, it's inexpensive. And then if you have the black card, they have this amazing hydro massage chair that you get free for 10 minutes at the end. So when I came home this afternoon, it was raining and I didn't go for my walk in Humboldt Park, but I headed to Planet Fitness. I did 2 miles on the treadmill and then I treated myself to that. So mix it up, then you're not bored with it. And for those of you that are maybe recovering from something or just struggling with working out, if you go on YouTube, you can find some amazing videos for armchair yoga, armchair Pilates. They're only like 10 to 15 minutes long. I just came back from Virginia hanging out with my 7-year-old grandson, and we did that at night, and he got a big kick out of it. So you don't need any extra equipment. It's just a great way, but you need to move or you're going to lose it. Kara's aiming for 100. I'm aiming for 105, so I'm going to beat her.
I believe it. I believe it. All right. That's good. Get moving your body, you guys. That's a great way to boost your metabolism.
Right.
Electrolytes. So as we're moving our body, thinking about hydration, it's so important to not drink just water, but those electrolytes also really help to regulate our metabolism, especially as we're talking about maybe hot flashes or night sweats during the night. You may not even just realize it, but that's also increasing. They say most women our age are slightly dehydrated. Even though we're drinking the water, we're not getting the proper amount of electrolytes. And there's a lot of junky electrolytes on the market. They're loaded up with sugar. So be really careful. doTERRA's electrolytes, our recharge is phenomenal. Okay. Remember that coffee alone does not hydrate the body. Low electrolytes, that contributes to things if you're feeling like you have fatigue or headaches, cravings, dizziness, brain fog, right? Low energy. A lot of times this isn't because you're not drinking enough water. It's because you're not supplementing or adding in those electrolytes. So starting the day, remember hydration before that caffeine or coffee, adding electrolytes, supporting hydration. Don't even think about it like I'm only going to drink extra water, when it's hot out or when I'm working out, because there's so many other environmental factors that make a big difference. And water is the way that our body actually uses as a tool to be able to cleanse and flush out toxins. Adding a drop of a citrus oil, like these are, I just took a picture of our kitchen and the oils are just sitting there as a reminder every time. It's right there where we fill up. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to put a drop of water in there. And that's my great reminder to help me drink more water. It's going to taste better. And again, change it up. Don't do the same one all the time. Keep it different. These are what our electrolytes look like. Over 75% of our population, again, is deficient. It's amazing how much our population is deficient in all of these minerals, right? And the nutrients. So supplementing with something like this is super important. Making sure that we're getting this, because this is what helps our bodies to be able to, and our cells to be able to communicate. Okay. There's baobab extract in here. This actually helps our body to retain that water, and so that we can actually hydrate the cells properly. But then there's a ton of goodness in here. And again, habit stacking, I just squeeze this right into with my VMG and my collagen, and I'm done. I'm all ready to go. It's super easy. Sometimes, but people like to just have this separately in the afternoon. It's totally fine. Okay. As long as you're consuming it and supporting yourself with those proper electrolytes, it's going to be really beneficial. It doesn't matter when you do it or how you do it, as long as you're doing it. And then we talk about stress. All right. And this is going to have a big impact on cortisol. So if we have our body in that constant fight or flight mode, this leads into that elevated cortisol, which increases that belly fat storage. Stress also increases your cravings for sugars and carbs. You guys ever felt that, where you're stressed out and you're just kind of looking around and all of a sudden you're just grabbing a bag of chips or a candy bar, whatever it is? Like, that is that stress. Okay. Poor sleep, that also causes and wreaks havoc on our hormones. We have that tired but wired feeling, and the nervous system never fully is able to relax. So some quick solutions: that daily walking, gardening, woohoo, let's go. All right. It's that time of year. That's awesome. Being outdoors, that's a natural way to calm the nervous system. I walk a lot of times with headphones, but sometimes especially now in the spring, like there's so many beautiful sounds outdoors. I won't have my headphones on and I'll just walk around and just listen and appreciate everything that's happening around me. Morning sunlight, that helps to support your cortisol rhythm. Better sleep, that's going to help with that hormone balance. Setting boundaries, okay? So, and a lot of this has to do with our cell phone. So trying not to have that cell phone on your nightstand, not answering every single text at every time or day or hour. You don't have to be 100% on and available for everybody all the time, okay? So setting some boundaries, allowing your body to relax and calm down, is really important. So prayer, meditation, any small moments of calm that can happen throughout the day, even just giving yourself 10 to 15 seconds can help to reduce those cortisol levels. Now, one thing that makes a big difference for me, and I do those Zyto balance scans. So it basically tells you kind of a snapshot of like where your body's at and maybe, what would be the most supportive for you at that time. And for the last 6 months, like every single time, the number one thing that comes up is adaptive. So it's a friendly reminder to me that like I need this, more of this in my life. This is like, for me, stress is and anxiousness, overwhelm. That's the number one reason what brought me to doTERRA. And so incorporating adaptive and remembering to do that on a daily is so important. So I take an adaptive capsule every morning, the calming capsules. This totally saves me. It keeps me out of the total feeling of chaos or overwhelm. I feel calm and I feel like I'm ready to take on the day. Okay. I don't get rattled as easily anymore because I feel like this just slows everything down so I can process and I can hear what people are saying to me without getting in a panic. Okay. We can't control the things that are coming at us, but we can control how we respond. And so this has helped me tremendously in that response of not getting into the panic. The oil smells wonderful. You can put it in your diffuser. The roller ball is an awesome like little cheater that you can just have with you. We've got lavender, wild orange, magnolia, rosemary, copaiba, spearmint, neroli, and all of these are working synergistically to create that perfect level of calm, but not feeling like you've just been drugged and sedated. Okay, that's not good. We need to be able to function throughout the day. So this has helped me tremendous. Our whole entire family actually tremendously. This is one of our absolute favorites. And this will help. I mean, isn't that so crazy how all of our systems work together? Like this, helping to calm the body down and regulate that cortisol properly is going to help you with your metabolism and your weight loss. Okay, so now we can talk about one of my favorite topics is sleep. I love sleep. I don't know about you guys. I love sleep so much. It's something I look forward to. I can't wait. And I love the whole like ritual and process now of kind of winding down at night. And that is key. Okay, so remember that poor sleep causes those increase in cravings for your things like your sugar and carbs. Okay, sugar and carbs, that's like that fast fuel that your body's looking for, that quick fix, okay, that quick boost. So if we're not getting sleep, we're having those cravings. It also raises that cortisol. Hormones actually regulate and repair during sleep. So it's so important that we're getting that good quality sleep. It slows down your metabolism if we're not getting that proper sleep. And then we tend to feel more anxious. We tend to feel more emotional, overwhelmed, all of those things when we're not getting good sleep. We have low energy and low motivation. So the solution, create that calming evening routine. Okay, this is something, instead of rewarding yourself with a Reese's peanut butter cup at night, why don't you reward yourself with a good, calm evening routine? And I put this picture of this, woman with this little boy reading at night, because if you've had children, or maybe you babysat or took care of somebody, what's the most important thing for a child, right? To have this whole winding down and calming down. And we take a bath, and then we brush our teeth, right? We put on our pajamas, we read a book. And this is creating this anchor and this signal for the body, like, okay, we're winding down. We're going to be getting ready to sleep. It's the same way with adults. We love routine just as much as a child, okay? And it's going to help you, and again, create that anchor and that signal for your body that you're going to be sleeping soon and starting to just relax. Okay. I love it. I look forward to it every night. Magnesium can be really supportive to help with that relaxation and helping to fall asleep and stay asleep. Try to reduce that scrolling and that blue light. Okay. Especially things on social media. Social media is designed to give you those continuous dopamine hits. All right. It's what keeps the scroll going, because you're like, oh my gosh, right? You're seeing all this. That is going to keep you awake instead of helping you to calm down and relax. Try to keep a consistent bedtime. Again, we love routine just as much as anyone else. And it's a great cue. Then your body is like starting to get in a rhythm and start to know, okay, all right, whether it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever, it's knowing that this is the time that Kara normally starts to go to sleep, instead of having no idea and wondering what the night's going to be like. If we have that set routine, your body will naturally start to slow things down for you. And supporting the nervous system with like a diffuser. This is what I reward myself with now. It's like I said, instead of that chocolate, I'll just do a little extra foot massage with oils, your spine, massaging in the shoulders, misting the pillow. Like, you won't believe what a difference this will make, okay, in your routine. A great tool for that, of course, is Serenity. This is our restful blend. The oil itself in the diffuser is phenomenal. We have so many great recipes that you can team this up with Serenity. So it's like Serenity and Breathe. That's phenomenal. It's one of my favorites because Breathe really opens up the airways also, but it's very calming. The soft gels are awesome, and I always especially travel with these. It seems like I struggle the most with sleep when I'm traveling, but this has L-theanine and it has tart cherry in it, okay? So this is a natural source of melatonin for you to help you to be able to start to fall asleep and actually feel, relaxed. But I love it because you can take it at any time throughout the night. So I had last week, I woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, oh my God, I'm totally wide awake right now. I'm thinking about way too many things. I can't fall asleep. I took 2 Serenity soft gels. I was able to fall asleep, and I never woke up feeling like groggy, or if I don't know, I used to take Tylenol PM before I knew better, and you would wake up and you just feel like you're kind of like in a stupor, right? It would take a while to kind of get out of that. With the Serenity soft gels, you don't feel that way at all. You wake up in the morning feeling totally refreshed, and you don't feel like you're in that funk of trying to be able to wake up. And the stick is really fun too. So this can be for adults. It's great for kids, but it also has valerian root in it that helps with that relaxation. You can even like put it on I'm like kind of like a side stomach sleeper. I don't know, all different situations. But if I put it on your forearms, then when you're sleeping and you smell that, it is just so wonderful. It is a delight. So as we circle back and complete, those are my highlights. So I try to target like all of the areas that I think is where people struggle the most with their metabolism, right? With weight loss. Why do we get hung up? Why do we get stuck? And so hopefully those were some key things that were helpful. I think if you return back and you focus, whether you're taking this already or you're brand new and you're on this call and you're like, okay, this, I've never heard of this before. Or like I said, maybe you've dabbled in it or you've taken it and you're wondering, why am I taking it? Or, is it actually doing something? This is the best thing you can actually do for your body. I just took this screenshot from the unplugged call that we have with Lauren Bush on Monday, because it's just so beneficial to make sure that when our body is getting the nutrients that it needs and everything that it needs to be able to function properly, everything starts to align, everything starts to fall into place. We start to sleep better, we start to have more energy. And it's amazing when you start to do one thing for yourself and you're conscious of that. Like I said, and if you're journaling throughout this whole experience of like, how do you think about how writing down like how you feel after you eat certain foods. I know when I eat a salad, I feel so much more focused and energized. I feel like I can continue on throughout the day, as opposed to eating like a big, huge burrito from Chipotle. I need a nap for like an hour. I go into practically a food coma, right? That's not good. And so, consciously being aware of that, writing that down, how you're feeling, how you're sleeping, right? What are your energy levels? Do you have aches and pains? Does this make a difference? And just, keep it tight. Start with something simple, and then you can slowly expand into like the collagen, the electrolytes are really important. And then what I love, what doTERRA does is when you order just this simple trio, then every single month you get a free oil. Okay. And all of these oils, this is our top 12 that are designed to help you in all those targeted areas. So adaptive is in here. Okay. You're going to get free adaptive for that calming, for the emotional support, for reducing those cortisol levels. Lemon to help to reduce the toxicity. Breathe, deep blue, serenity is in here. We just talked about that for sleep. You even get MetaPower for free. In June, we're going to get frankincense for free. That's a big deal. This month right here, we're getting tea tree. Okay. So all of these, the reason why they're giving them to you is so that they're designed to be able to support you in all these other targeted situations. Okay. All of these other areas that to help to balance everything else. So I love that they keep it clean and they keep it simple. And that's where I focus on those three things. And then just remember, like, it's a journey. Okay. So this isn't gonna, you didn't get this way overnight. All right. If you're at a point and you're like, oh my gosh, I really need to focus on my sleep, or I'd love to lose, 10, 15 pounds, whatever it is, this is going to be a journey. And we're here with you every step of the way. I highly recommend showing up and coming and attending to our Wellness Wednesday calls, because this is what is going to support you on your journey. We're going to continue to tackle and talk about this topic all month long. So I hope that this is helpful and supportive, but it's an issue, right? And know that like you're not alone. Like oh, guess what, Joan? I can now make you a co-host. Woo-hoo! All right, the button just appeared, and Joan is a co-host. So funny. All right. Well, Pat, we nailed it in less than an hour. Are there any questions?
Good job, Kara.
Well,
It
great.
was a
I'm so
good
glad
job.
you're on here with me.
There were a couple questions in the chat. Let me see. Somebody asked about the MetaPower system, and there's a lot more to the MetaPower system. I mean, there's a lot to it. They asked how many come in it. What's the quantity, and how many do you take per day? But there's a lot of MetaPower products, so it just depends.
Yeah, I think each one, there it is an entire system. Or you can, like you said, you can get things. Basically, it's like the collagen. That's a 30-day supply. If you're taking one every single day. The assist is like, I think you can either get a 30 or a 90 capsules. I get the 90 just because then I have it on hand, right? And it's more cost effective that way. Um, the oil, I just kind of use that whenever. And so it will vary a little bit. And everything that I talked about, every category, we have a Wellness Wednesday call. We have calls on MetaPower. We have calls on specifically adaptive and the science behind it and why it works. We have calls on sleep. So if you want to dial in and do like a deeper dive on that, let me know if there's like a call that you're looking for. But that library is in just so invaluable. I mean, it's just amazing of what we have to offer with that.
Someone asked about the scan, the Zyto scan. I
Yeah.
think we just missed the name of it. They said what scan? It's the
Oh
Zyto
yeah.
scan.
Yeah, it's a Zyto scan. And yay, Gloria, I'm so glad that you're on. And then one thing that I'll say is, and because someone asked me, they're like, oh my gosh, like how do you afford to like take all these things every single month? And the cool thing is with that rewards program, not only do you get that free oil. Oh no, George is hopping on right now. Oh well. So you will get that free oil every month. Yes. Okay. That's an awesome perk of the rewards program. But also, you're going to get a percentage back in rewards every single time that you place your order. So anywhere from 10 to 30%. So the longer you're in the rewards program, the bigger your percentage back. So every time I make a purchase, I'm getting 30% back in points every single month. And so, like when I buy that big 90 capsule of the MetaPower Assist, I use my points and I cash that in and I get that whole thing for free, right? Or any other oils I want to layer in, or the adaptive capsules, the adaptive oil, those kinds of things. I just focus on purchasing that foundational wellness, the collagen. I usually always add that. I don't know. I couldn't live without that. And the electrolytes. Okay. That's my monthly order. And then what I do is I will let those points accrue and then cash those in for all the stuff. I mean, you can cash it in for your skincare. You can cash it in for cleaning supplies. I loved, to tell my husband like, hey, we've got toothpaste for free. The rewards program is so generous. So just keep your order tight and focus on those key things that really fuel your body. And then it's so fun to cash in those points and get a ton of free product. Oh yeah, someone said I'm going to get the MetaPower Assist, the Frank Caps, the Serenity for free. Like it's so awesome, right? Like it's the most generous. Like what other rewards program do you know of that you get 30% back on? Like, I mean, I think Target's the only one I know where you're like, ooh, 5%. That's a big deal. Here we're getting 10 to 30%. That's huge. Anything else in there?
No, I'm not
You
really
probably could
seeing a lot
answer
of
all those.
questions.
Okay, good. Good. All right. Well, we will continue, guys. And like I said, our Wellness Wednesdays are so great because we're not just talking about like, oh, use this oil for this and use this oil for that. It's really focusing on you and your lifestyle and things that you can do to incorporate to feel your absolute best. And we want to be able to do that naturally, right? It's the healthiest way. It's the way that I'm going to make it to live to be 100 and Pat's going to be 105. I can't. It's awesome. And I'm going to be still running around with my grandkids. Right. All right, so this recording will be posted. Any questions you have, I think Pat, you put your email in there.
I do.
Hopefully, you guys know how to get a hold of me. I'm happy to answer any questions or guide you through this. And yay, Terry! I got to hang out with Terry all afternoon in the greenhouse today, so I'm glad you could make it on too. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
Bye.